Today I'm sharing an easy Christmas shaker card with a foiled twist that adds so much sparkle and dimension. I'm also excited to be a guest designer this month for This Calls for Confetti's Christmas in July. Hi everyone, it's Annette with ASCardDesign. Let's go ahead and get started. So here you can see we're going to be doing some foiling, and these are the products that I want to give a huge thank you to This Calls for Confetti for providing these beautiful holiday products for today's video. We have the Deck the Halls layering stencil and die bundle, and they have these beautiful bulb dies, and we're going to be using that one on the right. And they also cut out the little bulb hook at the top, and those are fun, but we're not going to be needing those today, so I won't be using those. And then we have the Deck the Halls foil and blend sheets. Now you do need a heat laminator of some sort. You need those kind of foils for these, but here in the pack you get 4 of each different design. And I'm going to go ahead and just go through and show you quickly, but these are just beautiful and they foil so nicely. Wait till you see that. But I'm going to go ahead and select what I'm using. I'm going to be using this piece here and those bulbs. I got to use the bulbs, of course. So we'll go ahead and get set up. And I'm just going to bring in my little magnetic metal bowl. This comes in super handy with little dies. I did not want to lose any of those little pieces. So in the magnetic bowl they go. And then we're going to go ahead and get set up. I have my fuse heating up, getting ready, and I'm going to be using the fancy foils from Gina K. And by the way, I do have a visual supply list in the description below if you care to look at any of the supplies, and they are affiliate links, which means I get a small commission if you do purchase through my links at no extra cost to you. So first we're using the, I believe the silver, sparkling silver. Nope, we're using the gold, the glimmering gold foil, and I just cut a piece down to the size of my foil and blend sheet, and I am wiping it off with a lint-free cloth. I just want to get off any specks of dust that I can't see, just because that will prevent the foil from adhering. And then I have a piece of parchment paper for my carrier sheet, and then I'm just lining those up. And you want the foil and blend sheet printed side up, and then the foil you want the pretty side up, and just get those lined up and just make sure there's no creases, and I'm making sure everything is smooth. And then I'm just going to gently put that into the foiling, the fuse machine, and just let it grab it and let it do its thing. And while that's going through, I am prepping my next piece. So here we're going to do the bulbs, and the bulbs I'm using the shimmering silver. And again, wiping off just to make sure that on any of the dust specks are removed. And we'll just get that ready. And then this one went through, and we'll go ahead and show you. And actually, before we show you, I'm just going to set that off to the side to cool, and then we'll get the other one going, and then we'll do the reveal. Again, lining it up. I just like to make sure everything's right up against that folded edge, and then we'll put it right through. Folded edge goes in first, and then we can do the reveal. And this is cooled off. They cool off very quickly. And I'm just going to peel that foil off, and look at that. I'm going to bring it up close to the camera so you can see, but look at that shine. Now, this is gold, but when you turn it to the light, you can see greens and yellows and purples, and it's just so gorgeous. And I am going to save this piece because I can foil that onto some toner sheet for the negative piece. And then here are the bulbs. And I love this silver sparkle. This is just gorgeous. It's like prism, like a prism effect. And isn't that gorgeous? I just love that. So we'll go ahead and get that set aside and clean up all of this. And then we'll come back and we're going to do some ink blending. Now here's where the layering stencils come in on this bundle. And they're super easy to line up. So you get 4 stencils. And I'm going to use the first stencil, and they are labeled. They are etched at the bottom there. You can see on the bottom right-hand corner, Deck the Halls, and that's stencil number 1. And to line it up, you just line it up over those circles, and it's super easy. And I'm using a grip mat, and that is the Gina K grip mat. And then I'm bringing in my inks. This is Apple Mint and Lucky Clover. And for this, I am just going to ink blend just over the bulbs. And if it gets onto those little gold dots, it's okay because the foil will resist the ink and you could just wipe it off. But I am going to speed this up because you can kind of see I'm just blending a light hand first and just going all the way around. And I'm kind of going in both directions. This is a very pretty color, and I'm just kind of building up the color a little bit, going in light at first and then a little bit darker. And then I'm bringing in a detailed blending brush, and with the Lucky Clover, I'm just going to go over some of the edges just to highlight. And again, I'll layer that up. I'll just like to gradually build up the color. Um, then that is stencil number one. I'm just wiping off my excess ink, and we'll just pick that up, and you'll see the start of the ink blending. And I'm just wiping off any of the excess ink off of those foiled circles. And then layer number two, again, you're just lining that up easily. I'm just looking right there at that bulb, that topper. And I do want to mask that off. I'm just using a piece of Post-it to mask that off because I don't want to ink blend over it. I mean, if you do, it's not the end of the world. You can just wipe it off, like I said, but um, here, I'm just using the leftover ink from that green, the last green that I used, which was, I believe, Lucky Clover. And I'm just going in with a light hand. And that might have been apple mint. Nope, that was apple mint. And then the fine detail was the Lucky Clover. So I'm going over again, and I'm speeding this up a little bit with the Lucky Clover, just to give it a little dimension. And we'll reveal that. And you can see that two-tone. And then stencil number three, again, lining that up. And I'm going to introduce a new color here. It's one of my favorite colors, and it's called Cadet Blue. I use this quite a bit in my videos. I'm trying to get away from it, but I just absolutely love Cadet Blue with greens. I think it just pairs well with any kind of green. And so again, I'm just masking off some of the areas. And then we're going to go in and ink blend with kind of, I'm not really doing a light hand. I'm kind of doing medium because the last stencil, I'm going to use the same color with a heavy hand, and you'll see that here in a minute. So I'm just going around both directions, and I'm being careful that any little pieces of that stencil don't, my bristles don't get up underneath it. So I'm just kind of being gentle, but, just getting that color down. And then, isn't that pretty? The green and the blues. I love that at Christmas time. And then the last stencil, just lining that up. And then now I'm going in with the same Cadet Blue with a heavier hand. And this card just looks, this panel really comes together once we get this darker Cadet Blue on. And then we'll go ahead and fill that and get the stencil off. And I will clean the stencils off with some rubbing alcohol. I do that off camera. They're very easy to clean. And then that is our panel. All right, so let me clean this up, and then we'll go ahead and do some die cutting. So I'm using Master Layouts 1, and we're going to use the both of the rectangles. And I apologize, my camera was a little bit out of focus, so I had to block, or I had to edit a lot of this out. But basically, I used the smaller rectangle to cut out the panel, and then the larger rectangle to cut out the black matte layer. And then I'm bringing in the bulb die, the one that does not have the topper, and I'm going to die cut both of those large bulbs out. So that's going to be our shaker window eventually. So I am just now going to do the same thing with the foiled bulbs, the silver foil bulbs, because I want both of those snowflake bulbs cut out. And there you can see that. And we will save those for another project. Those will not go to waste. And then right here, I am taping down my matte layer because I don't want it to move. And I apologize, I had a manicure malfunction in my left finger. And anyway, I wasn't stopping at this point, so apologize for that. So here I'm using my liquid glue, and this is an easy way. I want those foiled bulbs to be in the background of my shaker window. So to line that up, I'm getting my panel down where I want it to be, and I'm just taping it down with some mint tape just to hold it in place. And then I'm going to add some liquid glue, and then we'll pop in those die cut pieces, and that way they will line up perfectly when we put our shaker window onto our background panel. And you'll see that come together. But I like to do this with shaker cards, especially if I have a matching die cut element. This is a great way to line it up and make sure everything is perfectly aligned. And then I'm just removing the tape and carefully lifting up that top panel. And then we'll just let that set to dry. And you can see that's kind of the look we're going for. So we'll set this aside and let that glue just get nice and secure. And then we're going to work on our panel for the window. So here I'm using double-sided tape and I'm going all the way around, and I'm going to speed this up, putting that all the way around the perimeter. And that's going to be what we're going to secure down our acetate window with. And so I'm just removing the backers. And then I'm going to bring in my acetate here next, and then we'll go ahead and get that secured down. And just, it doesn't need to go across the whole panel, just those die cut pieces do need to be covered up. So there you can see, right there, you can see the reflection, and that's our window. And now we need to build up this panel. And so I like these shaker strips from Gina K. They have a nice height, and the sides don't stick. They don't have sticky on the sides, which is really important for shaker cards, in my opinion, because the shaker bits will not stick to the sides of the shaker strips. So they will, you'll see them in the window and they won't be stuck all over the perimeter. So here, I'm just going to line the whole back of the panel with these shaker strips. And I like to do the perimeter first. And I like to do the 4 outside perimeter sides with one continuous piece. That way, if you look at the card from the side, you're not seeing pieces of shaker strips. So I like to just do one long strip along all 4 sides, and then on the inside I will fill it just to make sure there's no sagging edges or dips or anything. And here I am building the shaker strips around the window. That way the shaker bits don't go all over the back of the card, because there's really no need. They just need to be contained within that window. So that's just a good way to do that. And then with any of the leftover pieces, I'll just build up the little gaps just so there's no sagging. And I like to turn it over and just make sure. And it's got some good height, as you can kind of see there. And then we're going to go ahead and bring in our panel. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and peel off the backers, and I'll speed this up. Normally I will put the shaker bits inside of the panel right on top of the acetate, but here I need to put the shaker bits on the black piece of cardstock because I need to turn that over to line everything up. So it's just another way to do shaker cards, so you don't always have to put them right onto the acetate. And so getting the glue all the way around, and the glue just kind of allows me a little bit of wiggle room in case I don't have everything lined up perfectly. But this is really easy to line up doing it this way because you have your 2 bulbs there to guide you. And then here is the Ho 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 Sequin mix. And I used this in my previous video, which I'll have linked at the end of this video. But in that video, I said that these were cherubs, but they're actually Santas. I don't know what I was thinking. I had Valentine's Day on my mind. But this is a cute sequin mix, but really anything. You can use white, you can use silver, you can use any shaker bits that you have. Put them in there, get a good amount. And again, I always like to make sure my shaker strips are high enough so it's not smushing everything down. That way the shaker bits can move around. So just getting everything in there, I'm kind of filling it up. And then we'll go ahead and here's the moment of truth. Just taking my time. And what's really nice is as long as I line up those bulbs, I know my matte layer is perfectly aligned because we had everything in place. So there you go. And you just shake it, and there's our shaker card. We just have to put our greeting on and put it on a base. But for the greeting, I'm using this old stamp set of mine from Gina K called Graphic Tree. And I used the sentiments in here. I die cut a bunch of them, and I did them on black cardstock just to bring in that black matte layer in, just to kind of tie that together. But then I stamped them with white pigment ink and then heat embossed them with white fine detail powder. And then I went with the Merry Christmas, as you can see, and I'm just going to put that down. And then we'll go ahead and put it on our card base. And this is a US A2 side folding card base. Again, all the supplies are in the description along with the card measurements, and also the links for this calls for Confetti for their YouTube channel, their website. Be sure to give them a like and subscribe, and you'll get all kinds of information or inspiration from their socials. And then I'm finally bringing in Wink of Stella, and this is one of my favorite quick ways to add some sparkle. This is like a gel pen, like a glitter pen, if you will, but it has like a little paintbrush applicator, and I'm just brushing it on, and it's so easy. And this one is clear, so you can see the color of the ink through it. And let me turn that right side up, and you can see that sparkle that it adds onto the bulbs. I use that a lot on my projects, just really quick, really easy. And that's our shaker card. All right, here's our finished card, and this foil shaker design really comes to life with all that sparkle and festive dimension. A big thank you to This Calls for Confetti for providing the products used in today's project and for inviting me to be a guest designer for their Christmas in July. I really enjoyed creating with this release. And again, be sure to check out the description below for the links to This Calls for Confetti's website and their YouTube channel so you can see more of their inspiration and products. And if you enjoyed today's project, I'd love for you to subscribe so you don't miss more handmade card making inspiration here on my own channel. Coming up next is another video I think you might enjoy, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.